Emma Samms just reminded the world that when people talk about size, they're not always referring to inches, measurements, or screen presence in the traditional sense, but rather something far more powerful: presence, impact, and the kind of timeless magnetism that simply can't be measured. And here at Gossip Gallery, we couldn't help but notice how Emma continues to captivate audiences across generations, not through spectacle or controversy, but through sheer elegance and quiet strength. From her early roles that defined an era to her continued appearances that still stop people in their tracks, Emma has proven that true influence isn't about how loudly you command attention, it's about how deeply you hold it. She doesn't rely on flashy reinventions or viral gimmicks to remain relevant. Instead, her strength lies in the kind of understated sophistication that lingers, long after the cameras stop flashing and the curtain falls. When she walks into a room or appears on screen, there's a stillness that draws people in. It's not about performing, it's about being. Her beauty, her energy, her grace, they all speak volumes in a whisper, reminding us that the most commanding stars are often the quietest. There's a power in her calm, a weight in her poise, and an authenticity in her presence that modern fame rarely delivers. And when fans say she's huge, they're talking about an energy that radiates dignity, not volume. Emma's allure comes from the way she fully inhabits herself, never overreaching, never overcompensating, simply existing with confidence. Whether she was stealing scenes in beloved soap operas or lighting up interviews with unforced charm, she gave us performances rooted in restraint, nuance, and intelligence. That level of composure is a rarity in today's whirlwind culture, and it's precisely what makes her such a standout. She doesn't chase trends because she doesn't need to. She's carved out a lane that only she occupies, a blend of classic elegance and deep emotional presence. Even her candid moments, her off-screen photos, tell a story. Behind the clothes, behind the glow, there's a woman who is wholly herself. No masks, no personas, just a natural, unshakable presence that speaks louder than any curated image. And that's why fans from the past still adore her and why new generations are discovering her with fresh eyes. Her legacy isn't about one iconic look or a viral moment. It's about consistency, character, and class. Even today, as she lends her influence to causes she cares about and continues to show up with compassion and grace, Emma proves that her kind of size isn't just cinematic, it's human. It's rooted in care, in empathy, in a genuine connection with others. And that's why people relate to her, admire her, and continue to be drawn in. Because while the world rushes toward the next big thing, Emma Samms represents something lasting, the kind of enduring elegance that never needs to shout to be heard. She reminds us that size can be emotional. That presence can be spiritual. That allure can be soft and still incredibly strong. She doesn't need to dominate a scene to own it. She doesn't need to pose loudly to be unforgettable. Her strength lies in subtlety, and her impact is permanent because it's real. And let's be honest, in an industry that so often confuses attention for admiration, Emma's staying power is proof that authenticity is still the most captivating quality of all. Her story, her image, her essence, they all reveal a beauty that isn't concerned with being trendy but with being true. So when admirers call her steady, graceful, or sophisticated, they're tapping into something deeper than fashion or fame. They're responding to the rare kind of beauty that doesn't ask to be seen. It simply is. A beauty that whispers and still draws a crowd. A presence that's never performative but always unforgettable. And that is why Emma Samms remains such an enduring figure, not because she's louder than the rest, but because she's truer than most. In a world spinning fast with distractions, she reminds us that grace, dignity, and self-awareness are still the most powerful forces in the room. Her image doesn't just stick, it settles in the memory. And that's the kind of size that really matters. Not the kind measured by spotlight minutes or outfit reveals, but by the depth of impression left behind. That's what turns admiration into legacy. And in a world of fleeting fame and constant reinvention, Emma Samms shows us that true elegance isn't in the trend, it's in the truth. And truth, as always, never goes out of style.